What's up, people? One Up Punch here. Picked up this small game called Bee Island for about $13, $14 on Steam. And when you first start off, you're going to have this weird type of comic strip talking about the storyline and what's going on with all these bees. And essentially, what this game is like you're trying to protect the queen and pretty much your whole base. The game basically goes off of you taking soldier bees, builder bees, and just normal bees and building these honeycombs with different things in it, like nectar, pollen, ambrosia, hardened wax. And you're trying to do all these different things with the research center that allow you to get more weapons, more unlockables, more structures, and pretty much going off of all that, you have these different waves of these enemies that come after you. The first thing is the hornets, which those bastards need to get annihilated first. And I say that because war is hell, and we all know that even though we're human beings, we don't know that these bees always have war and constant conflict with other things. So this game decides to show you that dragonflies, ladybugs, and, other insects always pissing off the bees. So we have to make these weapons of war in order to destroy them all. And that is by making wax factories, hardened wax factories, ambrosia factories, pollen factories, all this stuff, so that you can make your base impenetrable or hardened enough that when these waves are coming after you, you can kill them all. And you can make different structures as well with different weapons like a ballista, a Vach, anti-aircraft guns, and you can also control them and shoot at the waves that are coming at your base. And that works by clicking on the actual structure, and then you can move around with it depending on whatever it is. Shooting, and then reloading will happen automatically when you're done with enough ammo being shot. The other thing is that you'll have the three different types of bees, like I said earlier. You'll have normal bees that will go off and find materials or different things to be able to build your base up, whether it be putting nectar or pollen into a factory or being able to build like a research center. Then you have builder bees that will actually make the building itself rather than going off and getting the materials or resources that you would need, as well as the last bee, which is the soldier bee, which will go off and fight and kick the living shit out of any of the other insects that come at you. Like, for example, when you see the bee go after a hornet, it'll make punching sounds, like cartoon punching, and the thing will fall from the sky and land in the water. And you can strengthen them up by giving them haystacks, which is like a helmet, a spear that will do 25% more damage, and being able to give them more, I guess, ways of survivability so that they don't die super fast, because they do die pretty quickly. If you don't give them any type of like protection or any weapons, those hornets will kill 2 or 3 bees without you being able to do very much about it. And the research center, or rather the research tree, is pretty big, in terms of what you could do. There might be 3 or 4 different tiers, but I was only able to get to 2 before I started having more issues, because you had dragonflies that would drop like bombs on top of your honeycombs. Then you had ladybugs that would shoot giant larvae, and it would annihilate most, if not half, of your base. But like I said, the entire idea of this game is to try to build up your base, protect your queen, and destroy any enemies that are coming at you. That being said, is the game early access? No, I think it's a full release title, but they did say that there were going to be other things that they're going to be adding later. For example, right now, the only thing you could play is campaign, and campaign is just you going different waves and watching the story mode progress by having these small events that will pop up, like the general will tell the queen these mosquitoes are coming up with gunpowder, they're teaming up with other different insects, and then you'll have to continue on and see how far you can go with whatever you try to build against it. So, for example, I built this missile launcher, and this thing fires 8 rockets at the same time before it completely stops, and then you have to reload it. And it's fun as hell to play this game, because it reminds me of another game I used to play on the Xbox 360 called Toy Soldiers. And that game, you were basically these toys, or army soldier toys, that would go and build up gun emplacements and different other structures to destroy the wave upon wave upon wave of enemies coming at you. This is what kind of Bee Island reminds me of, except instead of toy soldiers, you're playing these small circular looking bees that are kind of funny because they have lab coats on if they're scientists, soldiers that will have spears or helmets on their head. Then they have the builder bees that just have, their normal bee selves. And then the other bee is just a normal bee but has a bucket underneath it when he's carrying stuff. And he'll carry, like I said, the different resources from nectar, ambrosia, pollen, hardened wax. And there's probably other stuff too. But it's mainly just you getting all the resources, building structures, getting your research table high enough up there that your base is tough enough that when these waves come at you, that you'll be able to deal with them all. Because I'll say this, once the builder bees and the normal bees are dead, you're pretty much done and over with, because you have something called a kindergarten that needs honey in order to produce the other bees that will come out from their eggs and being able to fight as soldiers, builders, or normal. And if any of the enemy insects decides to kill them all, then you're basically screwed and you're not going to be able to build any of them. Because I had one builder bee left with no normal bees to grab the resources to make the different things. It was pretty much done and over by the last wave and they killed my queen. So watch out when you're doing that. But like I said, for about $13, $14 on Steam, I picked this up on sale. I think that's the normal asking price for it. It's a very fun game to play. If you're into like tower defense kind of base building stuff, I would highly recommend people trying out Bee Island. It's very fun, very funny, and I do like watching the small bees kick the shit out of the hornets when they're flying at them. But that being said, I've been One Nut Punch, and this has been another video. Thanks for watching as per usual, and like I said, war is hell. It's not just we humans that have to deal with it, but now these bees that have to fight all these other insects that are coming at them, because look at this. It's chaos out here. Even the ladybugs are coming out to play. But anyway, like I said, I've been One Nut Punch. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later in the next one.